All right, let's get started. We will do the session today in English because we have a mixed audience. So thank you all for joining this session today. Together with my colleague Yasmin, we will present you a little bit more about Fortinet and how to do the pitch. This is an open session. I also unmuted you all. So if you want, you can always ask a question or use a chat. We only have 4 attendees, so don't hesitate to interact with us and to ask some questions or to see how we can you support you. Before we start, very important, at the end of this session, when you close down this GoToWebinar application, there will pop up an evaluation form. Don't click it away immediately. I just want to point out that you can, by filling in the evaluation form, you are attending our smart reward incentive. You can win a voucher just by joining this webinar, and afterwards you can also win each quarter. We have an extra drawing, and there you can win an iPod Pro 2, and at the end of the year we also have a big session for an iPhone 12. So every session that you join with Fortinet, you have an extra participation into our smart reward campaign. The agenda of today, we first have a quick introduction, and afterwards Yasmin will tell you more about Security Fabric and how to work with Fortinet at exclusive networks. And at the end, we also have our event calendar, because we have a lot of other activities where you probably can join or that you are interested in. I will first introduce myself. I'm Stefan Leroux. I'm the new business developer for Fortinet at Exclusive Networks. I already worked for 7 years at Exclusive. So I know a little bit about distribution, how to work together with partners. And before my job right now, I was account manager at Exclusive and also business developer for a few other vendors. I will take this moment also to let Yasmin introduce herself.
Hi everybody, I'm Jasmine Jacobs. I'm working for Exclusive for 4.5 years now. The last 3.5 years I've been making offers for Fortinet mainly, and I have a little bit of a mixed function. I'm doing part-time offering for Fortinet, and besides that I'm also part-time helping making strategies for getting the bigger business for Fortinet to help our customers.
And we are more than a team of 2 people, of course. Fortinet is for us the most important vendor. The team of Yasmin, she's also responsible for internal sales for Fortinet, exists of how many people at the moment? I think together with back office, we have 5 people working for Fortinet. And on top, we also have some system engineers. And yesterday, the 3rd person for Fortinet started. So it's a big team that can support you. So don't hesitate to use our team. That's always very difficult for partners to come to us as distributors. Know that we are a value-added distributor and we are there to support you. And this is also slide. Okay. I have to mute. So, okay, this will be better. So, Exclusive Networks. I want to show you very quick where we stand for, what we do, and how we are different than the competition. We have created a mission, of course, like all companies. It's very important to show to our partners what we do and where we stand for. So we like to help our partners to grow with cybersecurity infrastructure business. And we do that by offering innovating solutions. You can see like vendors or solutions within the vendor, like Fortinet has a lot of solutions, and professional services where we enable our partners and customer against all kinds of cyber threats. This is a big sentence, but it fills all the gaps what we do for our partners or how we see ourselves into the markets. But very important, this is a new strategy of exclusive networks. If there is no trust, there can be no transformation. At this moment, your data or the data of your customers is the new gold. Look like companies like Facebook, Uber, all the data of their customers, that is where the money is for them. So our company is offering solutions to build those trusts, to build trust to use the data, to make the data available for your customers and for the companies itself. So that way, we are really a solution provider to help you to go to the digital transformation. Very quick about Belgium. We started within Exclusive Networks in 2007. At the moment, we are at 35 people. As I mentioned before, our technical certification, our technical skills are very, very high. We use it, of course, for pre-sales, to support you with RFPs, to make kit lists, but those resources are also available for our partners. We can support you with services, and this is the same people that can be used. On top of Fortinet, of course, we also have a lot of other vendors in our portfolio, around 36 at the moment. So we are not just a distributor. Our name is Exclusive Networks, but the networks is not really something about infrastructure. Networks means that over all the years, Exclusive Networks has grown over a lot of countries. First in EMEA, afterwards the US and Asia. But it's a big group of different companies within one brand. So the network is really about sharing the knowledge and sharing expertise within all the countries. So we have, of course, a group structure where you have some people at the top, but it's not really a big central leadership team we have. So all the decisions still happen locally. So it's a big company, but we can locally still decide what we will do. During the years, we have also added some extra flavors on top of Exclusive Networks. What we do is we have a global deal desk. If you have projects not only for Belgium, or maybe also for the Netherlands or France, or even bigger, we can support you with everything. We can do project management on top of those projects. We can offer you supply chain logistics. Sending products to the Netherlands or France is not that difficult. But at this stage, if you want to send something to the UK or the US, you have logistics, you have extra stuff that you need to take care of. That is all burden that we can take over for you. On top of that, we also have on-site services. If you have to do an installation in Belgium, I'm sure you can do it yourself. But if that customer also has 1 or 2 other branches that need to be installed, or you need to install a FortiGate over there, and it's very handy that we can take that burden for you, and we can do it. We can do this white label, so it will be somebody from your name that comes to the end customer, but we can take that over for you. And on top of that, of course, we have also our global support, where it's possible that we deliver new devices within the next business day, for instance, at the customer site somewhere in the world. There are extra services that we offer on top of the vendors that we have in portfolio. So our services at this moment is our first ideology. Everybody sells hardware, everybody can sell services, but for us, when you work together with us, we can also add some extra services on top of it. This is a quick slide to show you that we are distributing in the entire world. At this stage, it doesn't look maybe very interesting, but you will see when you have a project and you are able through Exclusive Networks to offer also all your services into other countries, it will be very handy. We are omnipresent channel, so we are still only working through a channel. It's very important to know. It's not because that we can offer services through a reseller to an end customer that we ever will go indirect to those end customers. Omnichannel also means that we have a lot of solutions that we can offer how we sell those products. Of course, the first one is the easiest one. Buy it. It's a CAPEX model. It's the way that everybody works today. But on top of that, there are also other solutions that we can offer. The last one, XOT, is an on-demand platform that we are launching. Fortinet it launched last week, where it's possible to use really subscriptions to your end customers. So we can offer everything within one subscription. It's a platform. You can have a login into it, and then you can have 2 flavors. Or you have a subscription model where we just or the FortiGate hardware and the subscriptions on top of it will be offered as one subscription with a price per month for you, and you sell it, of course, to your end customer. Or another solution is that we go to a white labeled platform where it's possible for you to make your own SKUs. You can make your own bundles. You can add on top of a FortiGate, for instance. You can add your services, and you can resell this to your end customers. Also, of course, on a monthly billing. The other service that we have is MSS Day. That's a managed service that we offer on top of FortiGate. So if you want to build your own MSSP model, you want to offer 24/7 support or security support to your end customers, we can offer you a white label platform on top of it, where you have a zero trust model that we together with our partner will build for your end customer. And the last one is, of course, the OPEX model. That is where we do financial and leasing services for your customer. If you have any questions about the different channels that we operate or that you can use with us, yeah, please feel free to contact us, and we can definitely help you or support you with this. Yeah, it's a Forrester study that says that more than 70% of the people are willing to buy through e-commerce, and exclusive networks recognize this, and we recognize this change. And that's why we have our XODay platform, as I mentioned before. So you can, as I mentioned, sell everything as a service. And as I mentioned before, yeah, the white labeled is also an option. So your own services, your own products can be added into our platform, and you can send it as one bill to your customer, payment for each month. Imagine that a totally trusted digital world. No trust, no transformation. If there is no trust within the different companies, or there is no trust in sharing the data, yeah, then there will be no transformation. So it will not be possible to go to this digital transformation. And Exclusive Networks is the partner that will join together with you to offer this trust. And right now, I'd like to give the word to Yasmin to give you more information about the Security Fabric whiteboard.
Yes. Okay. Technical delay. Sorry for that. So first of all, thank you, Stefan, for the introduction. We're going to follow with the Security Fabric whiteboard session. First of all, and after that we will go further with the practical information, what you need to know about Fortinet, and how to work with exclusive for Fortinet offerings and orders. Security Fabric, I can talk about that like for 4 hours, but we don't have that much time, because Fortinet has a lot of solutions. We are going to highlight today the basics, but if you want a more in-depth Security Fabric or more information about a certain solution, please don't hesitate to contact us so we can have a more in-depth presentation about that. If it's okay, it should go forward. All right, the Security Fabric at Fortinet, as you can see in the presentation, this is a basic setup for a network at a customer, where you have the internal network, which means switches, APs, things like that. Obviously, the users, because the people need to work on the network. You have a link to the internet because you need the internet to work. Besides that, you also have the demilitarized zone for the FortiMail and the FortiWeb. These are solutions we aren't going to highlight that big today, but if you have any questions about them, please just ask. The first solution we are going to talk about today is the FortiGate. It's the most well-known solution from Fortinet. It's their firewall. The firewall, it's a next generation firewall. So what does this mean? You can add some licenses to the firewall to make it even more smart than it is already. Those licenses or features you can add to the FortiGate are the antivirus, the IPS, the web filtering, and the application control. Those are the four main features we are seeing as the basics to add to your firewall to make to do the best security. What does this mean? So the antivirus is for the known threats, to protect yourself against the known threats. You have the IPS, which means the virtual patching. So let us say you have an environment in a fabric where they are making cars. Each production site has a computer linked to it to tell the robot what to make. Doing a Windows update on that kind of computer is not that easy, because it would be meaning that the site needs to shut down for the update. So what does the IPS do? It will virtually patch, virtually doing the update without doing it actually on the Windows one. So it goes looking for the gaps that Windows has fixed for that update, and fills the gaps in the time being until you have the time, or you can make the decision, okay, now I want to shut down, do my update and process afterwards. The web filtering, it's you can decide you can set up policies where you can decide, okay, for instance, my people cannot access social media during business hours. It's a choice you can make. So you can choose by filtering, but also by groups like social media, deciding what can be seen or what can't be seen. And then you have application control. It works similar like the web filtering, but the only difference is that it isn't based on the URL, but it's based on the application. So you have Spotify as an application on your computer, and you can say, okay, Spotify is the same for me as social media, so I don't want my employees to listen to Spotify during the business hours. These are these four features, or at Fortinet called FortiGuard licenses, are licenses which you can add to the FortiGate themselves. If you see to the network presentation on the screen, you have the user who will go through the firewall to go to the internet. So it needs to go through all the policies you have set up or your customer has set up and go to the internet for that. If they want to download something, it goes the other way around. So it comes from the internet. The file you have downloaded will be scanned through the firewall or the FortiGate in this instance, and will go further onto your laptop. On the screen, you also see there are some other features linked to the firewall. You have the VPN. It's a free license. It's automatically attached to the firewall, to the FortiGate. So you don't have any to pay for that. You have SD-WAN policies, or SD-WAN to set up an SD-WAN connection. It's better said. Also a free feature, every firewall, every FortiGate can do SD-WAN, make SD-WAN connections. The switch controller and Wi-Fi controller can also be done by the FortiGate, so you don't have to purchase any extra controller to manage your switches and APs. No, the FortiGate can do that. So it's also reduced in cost, and it's a free feature already attached to the FortiGate. The SSL inspection, more than 80% of the data that comes through or we visit on the internet, let us say, is encrypted. So it's very important that the FortiGate can decrypt it so we can read it and know, okay, is this malicious or isn't it? And this is all done by the FortiGate. So what does this mean? As said, you are the user working at the office. You're visiting the internet. All the data goes through the FortiGate to check, first decrypt, to see if it is already malicious or known by the antivirus system. And also, if you have set up, if it is a category you can visit, it is set up by the web filtering or anything you want to do on the internet. As I said, the 4 first features discussed, the antivirus, IPS, and web filtering and application control, are actually FortiGuard features. That's the name of the licenses Fortinet uses to make their solution more smart. These licenses, so the name FortiGuard is used in all their solutions. So you will hear FortiGuard features in the firewall, in the FortiGate, but also in the FortiMail, in the FortiWeb, FortiClient, in every kind of solution. So it's a common name used for the licenses at Fortinet. How does this work? The licenses are features you need to add to your solutions to make it even more smart. If there are any let us say, an extra thread, so there comes a thread in, a new thread, the firewall will acknowledge it using the FortiSandbox Cloud, which we will see later on. You will make a signature for it, and you will distribute all the information which it has learned, the signature, towards all the solutions within the same network. So you have FortiMail, you have FortiWeb, you have a FortiClient, you have Forti whatever. There are a lot of Forti solutions. It will send all the informations to all the solutions, and besides that, it will also send the information towards the FortiGuard labs. The FortiGuard labs are labs where all the solutions of Fortinet from all over the world connect to. It's a team of technical people, first of all, checking and learning about the new threats in this world. Besides that, there are also a lot of computers behind it doing algorithms to make sure you are protected against all the new threats coming up. So FortiGuard Labs is very important. It's a little bit the heart of Fortinet worldwide. So as said, you have the known threats, which is recognized by the antivirus. But nowadays you also have a lot of unknown threats where you need to be protected against. We call this zero-day attacks. Zero-day attacks can be completely new threats, malicious threats. It can be also very old school threats or different type of threats. Hackers are getting very creative these days. So our security vendor Fortinet needs to be creative as well. How does that work? Therefore, we have the FortiSandbox. I talked about it earlier in the cloud version. The cloud version is the most common version you will see. It's actually an extra feature you need to add in the cloud version to your solutions. In this instance, we're talking about the FortiGate. So you have the FortiSandbox Cloud, which will make a connection between the sandbox of Fortinet and your firewall. This way, you don't need to pay for the full sandboxing solution. Why? A sandboxing solution is pretty expensive. I will explain you in 1 minute. And because to reduce the cost, but still have the possibility to use the functionality of this Fortinet Sandbox, they have made it to a license where you can make a connection between your network and the sandbox of Fortinet. How does the Fortinet Sandbox work? So you have a user working, somebody working at the office, going to the internet, downloading something, it comes back through the firewall, and afterwards it will make a connection through your sandbox. It's a policy you can set up, so you can decide if your customer, when it downloads something, it needs to go first through the sandbox before it opens, or you can do set up the policy that they can make the both action at the same time. So running it through the sandbox and already opening it. So how does a sandbox work? It does a few steps before you will be spinning up a virtual machine. So there is a link with a bigger antivirus database than the one which you have on the FortiGate. You also will run a cloud query to the database, the cloud database of Fortinet, where you will do extra checks if the part of the signature isn't already known. If those steps aren't giving any feedback or aren't giving any errors, let us say, you will spin up a virtual machine in the sandbox. So we will make a copy of your system or a Windows system or a Linux system or a Mac system, an EOS system. You will spin it up and open the file you have downloaded in that system, in that virtual machine. If you notice, okay, it's making pings somewhere externally to a network that's strange, or is opening files. Suddenly, after I opened the file in the virtual machine, then he knows, okay, there's something wrong. When he sees there has been taken some action, then he will create a hash or a signature actually, and he will send the information you just learned from the sandbox to all solutions within your system. So you see here the sandbox is connected to the firewall, but also to your FortiMail, so the other solutions, to your users, so the Forti clients. And he also will make a connection to the FortiGuard labs. So there again, the Forti Sandbox, if it is in cloud, on-prem, VM, it doesn't matter. He has learned something. What will he do? He will make, first of all, the connection within your system to make sure all your solutions from Fortinet are aware of the new threat. And besides that, he will share it with the world, with all the other Fortinet users who has Fortinet solutions within their network, so they are also aware of the new threat, the new signature which has been created. Within that lab, also the technical engineer will check if there are any if this is a new variant, or if it is an old one, or it's completely something different we haven't seen before, then they will also check within that labs what to become. Okay, my user has downloaded something which was malicious and has been created as a signature now. The policy that in the company or in this network has been set up made the user put into a quarantine. This means that only the technical pre-sales engineers people can access the computer, but that the client cannot access anymore into the network. So no further harm can be done. We have discussed now the FortiGate, the Forti Sandbox, both interesting solutions and very important. The third solution I want to discuss with you is the Forti Client. This is actually the endpoint solution of Fortinet, It's more than a standard antivirus. It also has antivirus, web filtering features, anti-malware, but it also makes sure you have a remote, secure VPN connection towards your internet, towards your network at the office. So nowadays everybody's working from home, and it's very important you have a safe connection to get to the network and the maps and everything necessary to do your job. Therefore, you need a secure VPN action. So you put the FortiClient onto your laptop, and it will make a connection to the firewall where you will have the access towards all the content you need at the office. Besides that, the application securities, also policies you can set up to get it that the users only can access on that laptop what you want them to access. And here as well, the zero-day sandboxing is also here very important, and also a feature you can add to your FortiClient, which makes it even more smarter. So in this network design you see on the screen, you have the FortiGate with the FortiSandbox, but you also have the FortiClients who are working from home with a zero-day sandboxing feature, which makes it even more interesting. So it will work the same way as the FortiSandbox Cloud on your FortiGate, but you now will have it as well as home, which nowadays working at home is a new standard. So very important as well. It doesn't do anything. No, a blockage in the. Yeah. Oh. So the FortiEDR is an extra extension of the FortiClient. It will make prediction. It's a little bit of an AI and makes more works behavior based. He will predict what's normal or what's not, detect what isn't normal, and respond to it, what should be done as set up in the policies. So let us say I'm working on sales. It's not normal if I'm accessing financial files. So the EDR will see, okay, she's a sales function. She normally goes to the sales content, and now she's accessing financial content. This isn't normal. Okay, we should respond. The policy setup for this means she needs to be put in quarantine until further notice. It's an extra extension. It's pretty new at Fortinet for the moment. What we have learned from the past is when they create something new within their portfolio, it takes some time to be developed for a customer base like in Belgium, because it's mainly based on a customer base for very big companies like in the States. So let us say within 6 months until a year, it will be completely created for a smaller SMB market, which we more have in Belgium than they have in the States. So to be continued about that. The FortiClient as well connects with the FortiCard Labs. So if there is a known threat that the FortiClient has found with the zero-day sandboxing functionality when you are working at home, as well, then it makes a connection towards the FortiGuard Labs to send a new signature which have been created to let know that all the other users all over the world are also aware and updated with the new signature in the database. I earlier talked about switches and APs. It would be Fortinet if they wouldn't have a solution for that either. They do have switches and APs in their portfolio. You can say, okay, why is a security vendor selling switches and APs? That's a little bit strange. True, but switch is a switch and an AP is an AP. They don't have very big differences in that or very other standards. but they do have an extra feature on it, which means they can complete security onto your switches or onto your APs. So, for instance, you're working at the office, you're visiting the internet once again, you're downloading a file which isn't correctly, it's malicious, your firewall recognizes it, or you downloaded it, it has been sent to the sandboxing. You at the same time you are waiting, you are opening it on your computer, the sandbox has finished it, and it says, oh, this is malicious. So what does it do? It can close the gate on the switch, so you cannot access the network anymore. So you can do level 2 security already. So you can shut down or put somebody into quarantine on a physical level, on level of the switches, but also on level of the APs by using MAC addresses or IP addresses. So you have more possibilities to lock somebody out of the network if there is a sign of being breached. The functionality to do this isn't an extra feature. You don't have to pay any security onto your switches or APs, but you need to it's a free feature because your FortiGate is the controller for your switches, but also the controller for your APs. So it's actually a free security feature you receive by purchasing FortiGate with switches and APs. So very interesting. The switches do what they do. They have a lot of options, small models, bigger models, with PoE, without PoE, whatever you want. As I can remember, they have all the standards for the APs. So there's no reason to not choose for a switch or an AP. But the extra feature they have, and you don't see on other security vendors, is that they have the functionality to lock out a user by gateways, but also by MAC addresses, IP addresses on level of the AP and the switches. Another solution I want to discuss to you is the FortiAnalyzer. Logging is these days very important for our customers. So they have built the FortiAnalyzer to do that. The name says itself, it just logs from all of the solutions you have on the network working, which are from Fortinet, obviously, analyzing this and putting it into one report, a report which you can define. There are, I think it's like more than 100 templates for reports already prepared by Fortinet. You also can customize them, no problem, and you can centralize all the logging so you know what's happening on your network. You can extend the FortiAnalyzer by the indicators of compromise. It's an extra license or feature you need to add to your FortiAnalyzer. So what does this do? It will, I'm going to give an example, it's easier. So we're Tuesday, so let us say on Saturday, I was visiting the news website. No problem, just visiting, everything fine. On Monday, the news website finds out they have been breached. A very big issue. So they also they have a security solution. It comes out that they have been breached. There's now created a signature, but I have visited on Saturday. That's an issue. So what does the indicators of compromise do? They have received a new signature which has been created for that website. It goes looking into the logs of the past 7 days to see, okay, does anybody of the network has been visiting that website? Okay, yeah, Jasmine has been visiting that website. That's a problem. We need to put her into quarantine until the problem has been resolved and has been checked by the technical people that she hasn't been breached and there was no issue with us. So the extra feature is very important if you purchase a FortiAnalyzer, because it will really give you an extra solution, an extra security possibility. But you can say, okay, I don't want to, or I don't have the budget to purchase the analyzer. So what can I do? That's no problem. The indicators of compromise also exist on FortiGate level. So for all solutions, you have a smaller version for the SMB market, a version which is not that complete like the VM or on-prem versions, but it is more payable and will do the necessary for the smaller market. So you can purchase a FortiCloud Management and Log Retention license and add the indicators of compromise to that. So it goes looking in the past 7 days towards your logs to see if anybody has been visiting websites or downloaded files which have been set up as malicious. On top of that, the last solution we are going to discuss today is the FortiManager. It's a product used for more for a wide, bigger audience, let us say, or if you want to set up a system so you can manage your own end users. So you have the possibility to use a FortiManager for different remote sites in a bigger environment, but you also have the possibilities to put your end customer on separate domains into your FortiManager, so that the end customer can see their devices into the FortiManager and you have the overall view. There are two possibilities to work with it. Mainly, the FortiManager is used in bigger environments to push down updates that need to be done, or this, if it's like 100 remote sites and you need 100 times the same configuration, the FortiManager, you can upload a configuration for your firewall in that, and you can push it through all the other 99 FortiGates to let it know, okay, you need to have this configuration. It saves you a lot of time, but it also gives you a wide overview. So two ways of working with it, different ways, but it can be used. It has its good functionalities for both. And we see it's getting a very common product also for our MSSP partners to use in their system, in their environments. All right, so you have the FortiGate, Sandbox, FortiClient, Analyzer. You have the FortiManager. You see the FortiWeb and the FortiMail in here. All solutions which you can purchase in different flavors. So you have the on-prem version, which we all know, the hardware one, but you also have the VM version, the virtual ones. Nowadays, Fortinet has a new add-on on that, and which are the S subscription models. So the advantage of the subscription models is that you have a fixed price for a certain period, and you don't have any perpetual parts with add-on extra license. No, you have one price you need to pay for a certain period, and if you want to extend it, you can extend it. If you want to upgrade, you can upgrade. So extra functionalities or extra advantages besides the VM version and the on-prem version. Because if you buy a FortiGate, let us say 60F, and after 2 years the customer says, now I have expanded this much and I don't have the possibility, my FortiGate is too small now. Okay, no problem, but then he needs to purchase 100F series, for instance, but he needs to pay for the box and the license and the support. With the S license model, you have the possibility, okay, I can upgrade. I go from that one CPU to 2 CPUs, for instance. So you have more possibilities on upgrade level. You have a fixed price for a certain period, which is also give you a better view. And if you want to decide to upgrade, it is easier and you don't have an extra cost to that. This was a little bit of a security fabric whiteboard session. As said, there are a lot of extra solutions at Fortinet. They have solutions for everything, I think. If there are any solutions you want to discuss and deep dive, or you have any questions about it, just ask. It's no problem. But if there aren't any questions so far, we can go ahead. So the second part I want to discuss is a little bit more practical information. So how to Fortinet at exclusive networks, so information which are necessary to know a little bit how we work. So So team Fortinet at Exclusive Networks is the biggest team for a vendor at Exclusive. As Stefan already said, we are with a lot of people, and we don't see, even on this slide, there isn't yet the back office team. So for the business development part, Stefan Leroux is the main business developer for Fortinet. He can help you building strategies, working out, giving you support for bigger projects, help you out with questions. If you don't know what to go, where to go with your questions, Stefan is here. I am as well, but as said, I only have a part-time function for the strategic part. So I'm doing this half-time. On my other half of the time, I'm also working, but making offering. Most of you will know me as somebody who sends you the quotes. I do this together now with Evie. We are both working on everything, so we have a little bit of a big overview of all the quotes, requests, projects, things that are requested or ongoing for the moment. And we are looking for a third person on our inside sales team. So if you maybe know somebody, you also can tell them we are looking for a new inside sales person to strengthen our team and to help you even much faster than we are doing now. The pre-sales part, the pre-sales team for Fortinet counts 3 guys: Pieter-Jan Blateau, Jetse Smeyers, and Peter Wouters. Peter is a new guy who started yesterday, and he's already doing his NSA 4 training, so he's going hard. Jetse will be the person who will mainly focus on giving trainings for Fortinet, but also help you with installations. So if you have any project where you need help on installations, configuration questions, or assistant on any type of support, Jetse is a person who can help you with that. And then we have Pieter-Jan. For those who are working with Exclusive for some years already know Pieter-Jan. He's our NSA 8 at the company, so he knows like everything from Fortinet. He helps with everything you can imagine, making kit lists for the smaller projects to building configurations for the bigger ones. He knows all the technical do's and don'ts from Fortinet. So also he is there to assist you with any further questions. If there need to be done any proof of concepts, designs need to be built, technical information necessary, they are all there to help you. They have the pre-sales team has a generic mail address where you can send to, which is support@exclusive-networks.be. You can contact them. All three are working on that mailbox, so it's also easier if you don't know who you want to or who specifically you need. You can send it to that mailbox and they will divide it between them. Mainly the same like we are working on the sales box, all offering requests, sales related questions about any kind of offer update or so whatever can be sent to the sales box. It's easier because everybody can access the sales box. It's easier to work. You will receive a sooner reply than when you are sending it to me or Stefan directly, because we need to forward it or put it into the right mailbox, or maybe we can miss it. So we use our own mail addresses for strategic purposes and the sales box for sales related questions. Yeah. So here's also a small overview who to find where. So the support part we already covered, sales part as well. Order related questions or placing orders can be sent to orders@exclusive-networks.be, and finance related questions, so concerning invoices and things like that, can be sent to accounting@exclusive-networks.be. This is our generic telephone number. If you call it, you will hear a little menu where you can put, oh, 1 is for sales, 2 is for back office, 3 is for finance, things like that. So you can just call our generic telephone address. Fortinet offerings, very important. We mainly have 2 types of Fortinet offerings. First of all, you have the new business ones. Our main SLA or official SLA is saying within 48 hours. But in reality, it more goes to within the same day. Why do we say 48 hours? We all know like the Novembers and Decembers, which are very heavy periods where we receive a massive amount of requests. So those periods can take like 1 day or 1 day and a half. So to give us a little bit of an extra margin on that, we put in 48 hours as our official SLA, but mainly I think most of you can confirm that it is the same day. Which details do we need? Fortinet is a vendor which requires end user details. So what does this mean? We cannot place orders at Fortinet without any end user details, and they do the checks. So if you give up an end user A and you register it on an end user B, sometimes they see it and they notify it. So it's very important you can give the end user details. End user details obviously won't be shared with any other party except Fortinet. Type of bundle and subscription, very important. Why? We use a 24/7 unified threat protection bundle as a base bundle for at exclusive. So if you don't mention anything differently, it will be the regular bundle, unified threat protection bundle. If you want something different than 24/7 SLA, please mention it as well. If it is a bigger project, it's also very good for us to know if there is a certain time frame which we need to take into consideration, or who the competition is. Why? Fortinet has 8 price lists, minimum 8 price lists each year. So per quarter, we have 2 price lists. The first one is on the 2nd month of the quarter, and the second price list is on the 3rd month of the quarter. So very important if it is for a bigger project, or it would be taking up a few months for the customer to decide, to take in consideration that the price can change at Fortinet, and yeah, they do it like 8 times a year. The second part of the Fortinet offerings are the renewals. We have 3 ways of working. We try to work proactively, which means 3 months upfront. As you know, and as I said earlier, we are looking for a third person to complete the Fortinet team on the inside sales part. So we're trying to do our best to get every quote proactively out. But it's possible there's a little bit of a delay, more than you are used of us. Besides that, we also answer, obviously, the request you send to us, what's necessary for renewals. We need to know the SLA. We also need to know the serial numbers and if there is any difference in the subscription you are requesting. Why? We work with creating quote IDs at Fortinet when making you a renewal offer. This means if you place the order for that renewal offer, it goes automatically when we have processed it towards Fortinet, they will activate automatically the renewal, which means less work for you guys. So very important, you give us the serial numbers, because without the serial numbers, we're not able to create the quote ID we need. The third way of working are with master files. So if there are, if you want to have a complete overview, or you want extra additional information about the assets you have purchased for a certain customer or within your install base, very important, we can make master files. These are Excel files, completely customized, like with the details you request. So for instance, you can see the serial number, the activation date, the end of the current support date, your PO number, which kind of SLA, whatever you want, you can put it onto the Excel file. It is customized, so it can be a help for you to give you a better idea of the install base at that kind of end user. A little bit something in between renewals. It's more an adaptation on the renewals. When we are making renewals for devices which have been announced end of sales, they are eligible for a trade up. That's policy at Fortinet. So in that case, we make 2 quotes, one for the renewal, but the second quote is for the trade up. So when is a unit eligible for a trade up? This means, first of all, it needs to be announced end of sales, but the second rule that needs to be followed is that there has been any kind of support on the unit in the last 12 months. So the support may have been ending 10 months ago, no problem, then I can make the quote. But if it has been hasn't had support within 12 months, then I'm not able to make it. We do have a little bit of a backdoor there. What you will see is when you are requesting for a trade up, is that we make a small quote term for a smaller period, and also add the trade up with it, so you have extra, you get the extra discount related to that trade up version. Stefan, anything you wanted to add to that?
No. If you want, you need to find any backdoors, Jasmine is your girl. She knows everything about the system, so she can help you to make.
Are there any questions related to the offerings, the operational way of working, things you want to know? Nobody? No questions? Okay, I think that was very clear then. I now can find my pointer back. Yeah. So the added values from exclusive, what do we all have besides our main services Stefan already explained to you? We have a high level of technical local knowledge. So Peter and Tietza are stationed in Duffel. They speak Dutch Peter Jan also speaks French. They all speak English, so we can help you. They can help you with high level of technical knowledge, the one you need. Our training are also given by people of exclusive networks. So Peter Jan, Jetse, Peter, they are giving technical trainings concerning all the topics you can imagine. Stefan and I are also giving trainings on sales level to any topic you would like to learn. We have installation services. As explained, Jitse can come over to help you with doing an installation at your customer. You can put on the cap with the name of your company. The end user doesn't need to know it is from Exclusive Networks. But we also have the opportunity or the possibility to have a learning on the job experience. So if you are interested in a certain technology, or you have a customer where a certain technology needs to be implemented or set up, like let us say the SD-WAN technology, then Jetse can come together with you towards the end user, do the installation together with you. But when installing, he also can explain what to do, when, what you need to know, what the do's and don'ts are, everything concerning that technology you are requesting. So an installation with the possibility to learn on the job. Assistance with proof of concept of cyber threat assessment programs. So proof of concepts, you all know it. We do have demo units available free of charge to do that proof of concepts with. A second program Fortinet has is the cyber threat assessment program. So it's pretty much the same, but you can have a report created out of the portal of Fortinet. So if you go to the partner portal of Fortinet, you can see the cyber threat assessment program, and you can do it with virtual ones, but you also can do it with some hardware ones, hardware units we have in our offices available for you, so which you can hire for free, no problem, you can use it. We can assist you with that, help you to set it up, help you to read the report, to make a good report, to give you a good business case towards your customer. We also have sales and pre-sales assistance when you are creating designs. So for a more difficult project or questions or things you aren't fully comfortable with it, we can assist you to that. And last but not least, but very important even, we have a Forti office. It's the man cave of exclusive networks, something we have built internally. Has been built by our technical pre-sales people. So what does this mean? They actually have combined a lot of Fortinet solutions into one environment, a demo environment, where they can give presentations on salespeople, but also on technical people. So for salespeople, it's often a good idea to have a view what it really does. So they have built some business cases in it. Business cases we see more and more common nowadays in the world of the digital transformation. They have built those business cases around it and can show on really low-level knowledge. Let us say people who don't have that technical insight into the product on an explainable way, but they can give it also on high-level pre-sales people, technical people who talk in different languages than we salespeople do, and they can explain it to them as well. It's a Forti office, something we have built, which you can use for internal knowledge to get more information about the do's and don'ts on Fortinet level, but you can also use it when you want to give a certain pitch about a certain technology towards an end user. So if you don't have your own assets, your own environment to show the possibilities what Fortinet can do, you can do the Forti office. Our technical people will help you or ask some questions concerning what business case you want to build, and they build it for you and give it together with you towards your customer. So it's also free of charge, something extra, an added value we do and we give to our partners. So if you have any questions concerning the Forti Office as well, just send it to the sales box and we will help you further with it. One of the last points topics we are going to highlight today is the event calendar. So nowadays we do have a lot of virtual events. We are hoping we can go to live events very soon. It gives you a very different idea than an online event do. So until the 30th of June, all events are given in online mode. Hopefully, when all the vaccines are given, we can go to a live one, and it will be a very big one, I think. So for the technical trainings, the first upcoming trainings we've scheduled are the FortiClient EMS training. It's a one-day training on the 8th of March. It's a part of the NSA 5, very important and a big new training from Fortinet. So I think we should be one of the first within EMEA organizing this kind of training. So if you are interested, you can also register on our website. It's no problem. It's just a form you need to complete. You can contact us later about it if you have more questions. The second also important training is the Advanced Threat Protection training. It's a part of the NSA 7. It follows onto the FortiClient EMS training. So it goes from the 9th until the 10th of March. It's a 2-day training. And then also in March scheduled are the FortiManager and FortiAnalyzer training, the NSA 5. It's a 3-day training where you can see the do's and don'ts about the FortiManager and the FortiAnalyzer. We do have scheduled all technical trainings for the rest of the year. You can find them all on our website. I'm not going to explain them all or highlight them all because otherwise we still need like 3 hours. Besides the technical trainings, we also do the sales trainings. On the 12th of March, we have the NSA 2 sales training. It's a 1-day training, completely free of charge. Maybe some of you already know, some of you don't. So Fortinet has changed their partner program last year, and now this year they are working really hard on the certifications. So all advocate partners are now also mandatory to have those NSA 1 and NSA 2 certifications. Those are both sales certifications, but they need to be followed, and the exams need to be taken place. Otherwise, they are going to scrap the partnership. So very important. It's 1-day training. I think it starts like 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and it ends at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So on 1 day, you will have everything you need to have your NSA 2 certification. On the 19th of March, we have the sales update, Fortinet sales update. It's actually a full day, but the first half of the day is the sales part. The second half will be the technical part. It's also free of charge, but it gives you a little bit of a highlight of the last topics, the latest changes at Fortinet, things you need to do. And in the afternoon on the technical part, there is a hands-on concerning each time a different topic. So also very useful to give you a better idea on what's changing in the security landscape and how Fortinet is reacting to that. And obviously, once again, the last maybe most important part is our Forti office. If you are interested in it, if you want to see it, if you want to set up an internal session or you want to visit it with a customer, no problem. We are here for you to help you. So all requests can be sent to the sales mail address. We will give you more information and we can schedule a session for you if necessary. My pointer is gone again. Yeah. So once again, very, very important, smart reward incentive we are having. So if you complete the survey after the session, you will receive you can be the winner of the €50 voucher. Each quarter you can make a chance on the AirPods Pro AirPods, and you have at the end of the year the iPhone 12, which is also a very nice gift. So please complete the form later on, complete it as good as you can, and maybe you are one of the winners. I think we have one more slide left, the most important one. That's my pointer. The question slide. So is there anybody who has questions, who has some doubts, who wants a second or a more in-depth training session, workshop, whatever, or more information about something? Please just ask.
You can also add those questions into the survey, of course.
Indeed.
Yeah, there was one question, Jasmine, about NFR kits from Christophe.
Sorry, I can see them.
Question about NFR kits.
Yes, and what's the question?
For resale kits. Yeah, do we have NFR kits?
Yeah, sure. So Fortinet has a policy concerning not for resale kits. So you can purchase 10 not for resale units for each year, each fiscal year. Not for resale units can be purchased for most of the on-prem versions, not for any cloud instance, so only for hardware ones. For some of the VM solutions, but also not that many. So you need to check for what exactly you need it. How does the NFR works? It's the same SKU as you see in the price list, but you get a free 1-year license, support license attached to the unit, so you don't have to pay for it. And you get 58% on the hardware as well. So it is a very, very good deal to purchase not for resale units. Why? When can you purchase them? If it's really for a demo environment. If you are, if you want to use it for a production environment internally for your own, then Fortinet doesn't like it to purchase it. If it's for a demo, it's no issue. Very important, or something you need to remember, you get 58% on the first purchase when you purchase the hardware. After 1 year, because you have 1 year of free support and free license, if that 1 year has passed, you need to do a renewal, and the renewal is at standard conditions. So any not for resale request can be sent also to the sales box, where we can help you with the device you need. That may a little bit of an answer to your question.
Ja, dat is een goed antwoord. Any other questions? No, not immediately. Okay, great. I think we are at the end of our seminar. I would like to thank you all for joining. Once again, fill in the evaluation form. If you have any questions, just contact Yasmin or myself, and I can pick it up. And then we hope to see a lot of questions in our sales box to support you. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Great afternoon.